Welcome everybody, or good afternoon as it is. Welcome. Thank you all for showing up today. As we wait for a couple more folks to arrive, we have our agenda up on the screen for you. Thank you for coming to our Market Manager Forum for July. I can't believe it's already July. Seems like it was just March. We were all together in person not so long ago.
The counterintelligence was there. They were off the way from us. This was what I wanted to tell you was
Let's see.
I got to meet Jackson in person.
First, if everybody is able to mute their screen if they're not talking, that helps us with background noise. And while we wait, we give folks a little more time. Let's all introduce ourselves and let everybody know where we're from and what market we're with. And I'd love to know just if you could quickly tell us, like I said, your name, the market you're with, and how long you've been a market manager. That would be really helpful. I'll start. I'm Andrea Warner. I think I know everyone here. I'm the market manager liaison for the New Mexico Farmers Marketing Association. And I also work in the nutrition incentives team with Double Up Food Bucks Outreach. And my previous experience was market manager for the Silver City Market for 4 years. And I'm currently a board member with them as well. And I'm gonna pass it to Tiffany over here. I'm so excited. Our new Silver City Farmers Market manager is here. Go ahead, Tiffany.
I'm Tiffany. I am the Silver City Farmers Market manager, and I've been manager for 4 whole months.
If you want to choose a name and pass it on, Tiffany.
I'll pass it over to Ron.
All right, can y'all hear me okay? So I've been a market manager now for a month and a half. I'm at the Black Mesa Winery. My previous experience is I've been a manager for most of my life, and I just happened to be a farmer and a participant, and then they said, here you go. All right, I'm going. Bye. Kind of like that. So no, I got a handoff. It wasn't that bad, but it's still quite an experience, quite a learning experience. And then I'll throw it to Scott.
Thanks, Ron. Good to see you again. Scott Knauer here. I'm with the NMFMA as a marketing and technology specialist, joining you from downtown Clovis, New Mexico today. So good to be here. I will pass to Karen Bradshaw.
Hey guys, I'm Karen Bradshaw. I'm with the Farmers and Crafts Market of Las Cruces. I've been the manager for almost 2 years, but I have been a member. I also used to sit on the board of directors here for 5 years. I was in charge of operations, and I'm a former vendor as well. So, and who's next? George! I see George. Let's give it to George.
If you're there and you can hear us. No, let's try Claudia.
Claudia Jeffrey from the Sierra County Farmers Market. I've been on the board for 5 years and the market manager for 2.
Hi, my name is Courtney. I am not a market manager, but I am currently a small scale farmer and vendor in Alamogordo, which is in Otero County. And we've been participating at the market here for the last 2 years. And I just hopped on, so I don't know who's gone yet. So I don't know who to pass it to.
I think everyone we have now is NMFMA staff who are presenting today. So how about, well, except Kirsten. Why don't we go to Kirsten, who's our special NMFMA guest?
I'm just here to be a fly on the wall. I'm Kirsten. I'm with the NMFMA, and I run the Fresh RX program. So I work closely with Sarah Thompson of Double Up and the Nutrition Incentives team. And several of your markets are doing Fresh RX this year, which I'm really psyched to see you all here. Let's pass it off to Mark.
Thanks, Kirsten. Hey, everybody. Mark Chamberlain, Marketing Creative Director with NMFMA. I've been here about 7 months, working out of Albuquerque. And much like Kirsten, I'm going to be mostly a fly on the wall, but I think the team has pulled together some great work that we're really excited to share with you. Jenna, how about you?
Hi, everyone. I'm happy to be here. My name's Jenna. I'm the digital marketing specialist here at NMFMA, and I've also been here since January. I'm excited to see so many faces here. I think I've seen a couple before in a later forum, but super excited to show what we have planned for social media coming up. And always remember, I'm the person on the other side of Facebook and Instagram if you're ever messaging or looking for someone. And I'm trying to get a picture up here so you can see my face too. Thank you. I will pass it over to Allison.
Thanks, Jenna. Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Allison. I'm the communications administrator at the NMFMA. I've been here for about 2 years, a little over that. And yeah, Local Food Connects is a big deal, and we're really excited to share it with you. So I think the last person is George. George, did you want to tell us your name, your market, and how long you've been a market manager?
I have been a market manager forever and a day, it seems like, and I want to quit, but nobody lets me. So 2009 is when I started by the invitation of my lovely wife, and I continue the process. What else can I say?
Well, thank you, everyone. Like I said, thanks for showing up and being a part of our Market Manager Forum today. I think we'll just let Allison and the marketing team start their presentation now. And then at the end of the presentation, we'll have time for questions and regarding Local Food Connects Month first. And then if there's time, any other questions that anybody would like to bring up. So with that, I'll hand it to you, Allison.
Okay, sounds good. Scott, can you take us to the next slide, please? And that was just some housekeeping. This call is being recorded so we can share it with everybody who isn't able to make it in live time. We've kind of covered everything else. So next slide, let's go ahead and just dive in. So August is Local Food Connects NM month. And in the second week of August, it's National Farmers Market Week. And we're going to talk about both of those things. We've been doing this campaign since 2017. And the whole idea is to saturate social media, newspapers, newsletters, all the things we write and put out, and get people to your markets, your other local food outlets. And the reason we do this is really just to engage them to experience and enjoy local food. When people come in August, they get to see like all the heirloom tomatoes and the green chili and the melons, and they think, wow, this is incredible. And it just keeps coming. And that's what we want for all of you, our members. And this campaign is easy to participate for you all. You can download things from the weekly emails that are going to be coming out, or you can just engage with us on social media, Facebook and Instagram. And with our combined audiences, we're going to be amplifying and creating a ton of excitement for Local Food Connects. And the theme this year is August is peak season and fresh food prime time in New Mexico. So there's no better time to get reconnected to all things local. Join us this month at your favorite farmer's market, farm stand, or local grocery store to celebrate the food, flavor, culture, and people that make our state one of the tastiest places on the planet. Next slide, please, Scott. So this is kind of a first look at some of the graphics and things that are coming out. Mark made this, so get your local on. We'll have another version of this and a video later on coming out. And we call these the announcement images. You're welcome to share these. We'll be sharing these. They'll be in our newsletters, social media, and in the weekly emails that are going to come out starting Friday. Next slide. And the whole thing that kind of launches this off is the proclamation from the governor's office. They've done this consecutively since 2017. So it's just nice to have that statewide recognition. There's a lot of great information in the proclamation that we share with news sources, and we can share it with you all as well. Next, please. And we also will be sending out a press release template that you can share with your local newspaper. They'll be more excited to pursue a story if you have say a market vendor that's been, I don't know, selling a lot of double up food bucks, or a farmer that's been growing green chili in that region for like 200 years. They like things that pull them in and involve the community. So keep that in mind if you do decide to use the press release template. We're also going to be sending out a media package to the major newspapers and TV stations, and that'll give the media a head start and just knowing what's going on this month with all of you all. Next slide. And that's really all of my portion of the presentation, but the largest and I would argue most important component is our social media. So I will pass this over to Jenna Marquez.
Thanks, Allison. So here we have just a couple examples of some of the content, just like the images that we're going to be putting out on our social media, Instagram and Facebook for the month, for Local Food Connects month. We had a great brainstorm and went through and decided that we would be putting out content in 5 different content pillars. So basically there's like 5 different categories. I did an extra one here for us to see, but so some of the things we're going to be highlighting, we'll share local food favorites. So you can see the bottom 3 are just some good examples of some local food favorites that we have here that you can find at various markets, depending on, you know, if you're at Northern Market or Southern Market, but most of them are, you can pretty much find these at almost any market, some type of variety. We'll also be sharing stuff that highlights local farmers. So we did just put out a local food guide. We have a great piece in there about the different types of farmers in New Mexico. And so we're going to be highlighting all the different types of farmers that we have here in our wonderful state. Here I have an example of indigenous farmers. So kind of like a format like that. We have women farmers, backyard growers, first generation farmers. We have a big list. We're going to be highlighting everybody. We feel that it's very inclusive and will be really, really great for everyone to share on their Instagram or Facebook. Another thing we will be doing is kind of reasons to go to your local farmers market. Why? You know, that's kind of what we're all here for, right? We want to get people to the farmers market. So we went through, we have some, I think it's 11 right now. We know there's way more, but there's 11 that we feel are really, really strong to share that message of like community, why you should buy local and the strength in investing in your community. Here I have 2 little examples. One is just like a small kind of little, it's not a quote, it's just like a little fact, why buy local. It's the yellow one with the 3 happy friends here at the market. And then we also have kind of more that are a little bit supported more by facts. And we kind of call those reasons to believe. So they're just kind of the like reasons to believe why you should be shopping local and going to your local farmers market. What else do we have? Oh, one other one that I don't have included here, but it will look very similar as you're looking at these images. You can kind of tell they all have a logo, kind of like a little headline and a description and a nice, great, vivid photo with them. The other one we will be including is fun and events in the community or in your market. So that's also another piece where I really encourage you as market managers, if you have time, if you only have time right now, put it in the chat. Let me know what's going on in your community. Let us know. Allison does send out newsletters asking for events. I know it's hard to always have the time to kind of like do that extra step of letting us know. I do my best to search everything on social media. When I see something, I always try to repost it if it's timely and we have enough time. Sometimes I'll post it a couple days before to just make sure it gets visibility. But if you do share stuff with us, we do have room to include that in our posts to make sure that we're getting it out there. I think like an example we shared today might be, yes, you just moved. I've seen that one a lot, Tiffany, actually. I've posted it a couple times, but I'll be posting it again. One of the things, like an example today, if you look at our stories, I think I shared county fairs, and they're just county fairs that are happening by month. So I think I'm going to use Socorro as an example because Socorro is so active. There's a lot of members in the community that message us a lot. I know yours is in like September, I think. It might be like Labor Day week. Is that Labor Day? I was going to Memorial and Labor Day. But yeah, so they'll be sharing them by month, stuff like that. Also, if you have like people playing music or just, something you think that's like an extra that would drive people to the market, we're always really happy to share that. And important stuff like if you've moved, if you're at a different location or times or dates. And then the next slide here that we're showing is kind of just for you to see like it's a calendar, a top level view of how many times we'll be posting and when we'll be posting these types of posts. They might move around because we want to leave room for, like I said, if you're sending us events or if you're
you have something to share, or somebody creates some content that we also want to share, we have some wiggle room to do that in a timely way so that it makes sense to the time. But this is about like how much we would be posting. So they're very simple, just shows like the Know Your Grower. That was what I explained about like our local farmers, reasons to believe, those 11 reasons, local food favorites. One that I didn't put on the shoes, we're going to be sharing a couple of recipes. We actually have some really fun recipes that I'm really excited about. So I hope that those do get shared. Allison and I have been working on some really fun stuff. So hopefully those will get shared. Some local recipes. I know we're going to do like you can see it on there. There's a calitas that we want, posts that we want to do. So we're really excited to just, like Allison said, saturate kind of social media with all of these images. And one thing to think about too is like, it's okay if people see these images again. Seeing them, social media goes so fast. So, you know, it really helps to create that sense of community with all of us if people are seeing these pictures or the information for all the markets. So with that being said, Allison leads the newsletter. We will be sending out a newsletter with like the posts that we showed in the previous slide, different ones each week for you to access and be able to just share immediately. You don't have to edit them. You can if you wanted, if there's something you wanted, if you want to put your market on them. But I would encourage you to do that in the caption to make it even, you know, easier for you to just upload the picture, write a caption, and just have some things ready to go for your social media. And that's kind of all I have. I'm going to go ahead and let it go back to Allison, I think, but I'm also here to answer any questions about any of this when we get to the discussion. Thank you.
Okay, and this is just a little bit of the inspiration, some testimonials, things like that. This is a farmer in Santa Fe, and just a quote from her, that's what inspired the main theme for the images that we're putting out. Next, please. So now we've kind of covered Local Food Connects in a month, which is all 4 weeks of August. But in the second week, it's National Farmers Market Week. And that's the most relevant to you all. And really what we're doing this year is sharing what the Farmers Market Coalition puts out. This has been their campaign for 23 years. We're members, we support and are sharing their stuff. So this year, their theme is farmers markets are changing the way, ... we eat, shop, connect, and more. So I would say use that as a prompt. How is your market changing things in your community? How is your market changing the way? And that will, all of these resources will be in the second week email and newsletters, social media, so on and so forth. Next slide, please, Scott. And these are just some examples of the branding and what the Farmers Market Coalition puts out. The one on the left, the periwinkle blue one, that was a story that I shared from the Farmers Market Coalition, just as an example of engaging with another campaign. So the Farmers Market Coalition, they provide the theme. They have this giant social media toolkit that we sent out in our last newsletter, and I can send it out again in the next coming newsletter. And it has all kinds of things. There's a planning timeline, there's social media templates, captions, facts and figures. It's a huge resource and one that could be used all year round. It doesn't have to be just used for peak season. Next slide, please. And here we're at the end, so I will pass it to Scott.
Thanks, Allison. I'm excited to share this little tidbit with you because this is a project that some of us have been working on since our team kind of convened for the first time back in January, and we were brainstorming what's something that we can give vendors to get them excited to add some pizzazz to their booths. And we've come up with these really cool, we were kind of inspired by Papel Picado flags that you see throughout the state during celebrations, but we wanted them to match some of the Double Up Food Bucks branding that you all are already doing around your markets and with your vendor booths. So these match so nicely. What we are sending out to you, the best part of all, you don't have to lift a finger. We're sending these gifts directly to you as market managers and outlets throughout the state. You'll be receiving boxes with a set quantity of these wonderful, very durable strands of flags. They measure 12 feet in length. The content themselves is about 10 feet to span your typical 10 by 10 tent. And they're comprised of these really colorful panel flags that measure 9 inches by 9 inches. We wanted to make sure they were durable to withstand everything New Mexico throws at ourselves and your customers, the dirt, the wind. So these should last a few seasons. And we're just encouraging you to identify which vendors are going to be really proactive in receiving these and displaying them at their booths. We'd also love to see what these booths look like. So add that to the content hopper. If you have vendors that are taking pictures of their booths with these flags tied up, we'd love to see them. Please share them with us by emailing them over or sending to Jenna via social media. And we can't wait to see what you and your vendors do with these. These should be, they're in production now. We should have them hopefully any day now, early August, in distribution to get them in your hands. So we hope you're excited about that. And that's all I have on these wonderful flags.
Thank you, Scott. And the last thing, I just want to tie this up. Fridays are the days that you'll receive an email with all these resources. So kind of think of that as like a check-in day, see what we have to offer, and then you'll plan ahead for the next week. And those start July 28th, so next Friday. So it's already here. I'll open it up for questions now. Does anybody have anything right off the bat?
I'll just prelude questions. Some of you submitted questions while registering for today's event. We'll get to those, but we'd love to take questions on Local Food Connects Month first.
Kirsten.
I just wanted to let everybody know that part of the intention with those flags is also to increase the visibility of Double Up Food Bucks at your market. There's a big push going on to try to raise visibility. And so those were kind of produced with Double Up funds, and we're really hoping that your Double Up vendors will take to them. And I totally hear you, Courtney. We are working on tablecloths. We had the same thought for some of our markets. So Courtney, stay tuned. We're trying to think of other ways to bring some color and vibrancy to the markets, including tablecloths and other things that vendors can use that probably won't blow away. Thanks, everybody.
Yeah. Is everybody, sometimes at these market manager forums, we're not all Double Up Food Bucks markets. Are we all Double Up Food Bucks markets here today? Great, that's good. Don't want to leave the everybody's welcome at these market manager forums, whether you are or not involved in Double Up. Thanks, Kirsten, for bringing that up. And were there any more? We're still looking for questions about our presentation.
I didn't want to drop a question, but I did want to say that I appreciate the flags. I'm in 2 different markets, so I think increasing the visibility is very important, because I've talked to 2 different people now, and they were SNAP eligible, and they had no idea that they could use it at their farmers market. And so one of them used it, and the other one, if they ever get over their back trouble, maybe they'll come visit and use theirs. So there's that.
Yeah. Thanks, Ron. And I don't think you were at our annual meeting this year where we put out all of the Double Up Food Bucks materials. We can get you some to your market. We can talk about.
I was kind of late to the show. I was told early, but didn't quite get my head around everything until the 1st of June. So
yeah, we'll get those resources to you as we can, for sure. Were there any more questions about the presentations for the Local Food Connects Month and the Farmers Marketing Week?
I have a question for the market managers. I saw a couple people throw things in the chat. Do you have any events planned for the month of August that you want us to know about right now? Okay. Sorry, Andrea. What were you asking? Oh, Pam.
We just
Yes,
wanted
Pam.
to say thank you so much to our marketing team. We've had a marketing Allison for the last few years, and now we have a whole team. And so this campaign was really their brainchild, and it's nice to have more hands-on staff to help. And I want to encourage everyone here to reach out if they have any questions, tech questions or social media questions, because we really do have experts on staff now that are here and happy to help you. Jenna Marquez, again, is our social media person, and Scott is our resident tech ninja, and they're both reachable and happy to work with you and answer your questions. I know they've worked with me a lot and answered a lot of mine.
So Jenna, I have a calendar that's made out to October for the music at Black Mesa Winery, and that's one of our features. Plus we have our, if they spend $10, they get an entry into a raffle, so they can win some wine and some flowers that I usually have. And right now the heat wave has not been kind to the flower part, but you want that? I mean, certainly love to. Any more advertising I can get for free. I used to do that all the time with Facebook, and then they started closing all those doors. So
Yeah, of course, we'd be happy to share. I know Allison also does like to share events in the newsletter too. So if you want, the easiest way might be, I gave you our Facebook link. If it's easy for you to message to me on Facebook or send an email or even Instagram, like those are 3 different ways you can reach out. Even if you want to, if you feel like posting it here, whatever is the easiest way for you to get it to us, we will definitely include what we can in the newsletters, and then on I can definitely post in the stories on our Instagram and our Facebook stories. We don't use quite as much, but we are really active on the Instagram stories, so I can definitely put that on there to have like reminders that pop up when you'll be doing events. I was just looking at your Instagram right now. Is it the Black Mesa?
well, there's the Black Mesa Cidery.
Okay.
There's one, and that's theirs. And then there's the farmers market at Black Mesa. We tried to change names to make all the names focus more on farmers market, but Facebook and Instagram were not. They weren't kind. They didn't want to allow us to change our name to what we wanted to. So
yeah, that's like a really annoying. You got to make a decision, and you can never change your mind again when you make a social media.
Right. I mean, we looked at it, based on, years past, we needed to take Black Mesa and move it further back and put farmers market more in the prominent and whatever.
Okay. So I know that we follow Black Mesa Winery. I want to find this Black Mesa Farmers. You said it's just called Black Mesa Farmers Market.
Let me get the link and I'll drop it to you.
Okay, that's perfect. And I will get on there and see and follow you, and I can also message you through there too.
I just want to, there was another question in the chat from Pam asking about where to send those events, and Allison shared the emails where if your market has events that you want to share with newsletters or social media, you can share them to the Allison or Jenna's emails. And also for social media, Jenna, do we have when I see something I'd like to draw Jenna's attention to, or an NMFMA social media attention to, I'll actually link in a comment our NMFMA handles. Will you say those out loud, Jenna? If you're on Facebook, it's at.
Yeah, I'll put them in the chat here so they're labeled so it's easy for everyone to see them because they're kind of confusing sometimes. I'll label those in there. You're also feel free to like, you can send stuff to like in the direct messages. You can always send us anything you have. Tagging us in a comment is a great way to do it too. And this is like so casual. You can message whatever, respectful messages you'd like to send to us in our DMs. It's generally a faster way to get a hold, especially like, I know most markets are on weekends, not all of them, but or they're in the evening. So it's a fast way to get a hold of us if you need. I'm pretty quick on the messaging on Facebook and Instagram too. So I'll put the Facebook and the Instagram handles here, and I'll put my email as well. My number's on there too. The only thing that's with my number, it's fine to text me too. Instagram is great because I can see what your information is right away. It's easier for me to share exactly what you're trying to show me because it is such a visual thing. But if you need to text me something, that's okay too. I'll put that information down here.
And I also want to just slow it down here for any market managers who are not very social media savvy. There are no wrong questions here. If you'd like us to go a little more in depth in how to access us or use social media, this is a really great time and place to ask those questions as well. So if there's anyone who would like to understand a little more and isn't quite following all of our buzzwords here, we're happy to answer those questions right now. Or again, please feel free to reach out to any one of us and we can help you. If you'd like to be more active in social media and you're not quite able to get there on your own, please reach out because we'd really like to open those marketing areas for your market as well. That's the world we're living in now, right? Great. Yep, I see your hand, Claudia. Go ahead. Yep.
We've been putting lots of pictures on Facebook and sort of doing a vendor a week, kind of making it fun, and lots of photos. Well, of course, some of those photos have prices of the produce on there, which sometimes opens up dialogue that is, well, you're higher than Walmart. And it's like, oh, really? Just leave it alone. Is there a, other than not acknowledging it, what's the best approach?
To respond specifically to that type of response?
Yes.
Is that local? I'm going to think about that for a second, but when we have there's a hand, Kirsten's going to have
okay.
Just for fun, Claudia, you might remember that one of our founders is Sarah Grant. She's an amazing advocate for everything small farm. And one of her favorite things to say to people is, you're so right, it's more expensive than Walmart. But as you know, there's no such thing as a rich small farmer in New Mexico. So they're not getting rich. They're setting the prices they need to set to feed their own families. And thank you for supporting them. So there's no such thing as a rich small farmer in New Mexico. There are other less flippant ways, but that's a Sarah Grant kind of comeback, and she's used it for 35 years.
I love it.
That's a much nicer way of saying things than I certainly had in my mind.
I see Pam has their hand up as well. Go ahead, Pam.
You can also mention that it's a lot fresher and it's going to last a lot longer and not go rotten like some of the stuff in the grocery stores. And a lot of times it's, organic, you need to specify that if it is. So that's the difference.
And the money's staying in your town. When you shop at Walmart, you're sending the money to Walmart. If you're shopping at Claudia's Market, you're supporting Claudia's neighbors and your own neighbors. So those are some of the things our organization tries to home, bang into everybody's heads over and over. Farmers are not getting rich, and the money stays local, and the quality is just, there's no comparison. So you can pull any of those out of your hat And there'll still be people who complain.
I think we actually have we were talking about the reasons to believe also. And Claudia, I'm assuming this is like on Facebook or Instagram where people are commenting this type of stuff to the pictures that you're posting. I can share the reasons to believe document here. And I think, Allison, it might be a great thing to share in the newsletter, maybe the first one that goes out, because there's a lot of great responses to that are very, you know, they're kind of safe, and that they're giving facts and information, just like information back, instead of nobody wants to like argue with, you know, a potential farmer's market visitor or somebody on their social media. So it's nice to always just kind of come back with some just like statistical type information to just present to why like these prices might be different. And they're very simple, like a couple sentence responses, very aligned to what Kristen was saying, but I think they're very applicable to, there's a couple on there that are very applicable to like a response for that response, so that you don't feel that you need to be too, like and you're responding, you're not ignoring them, you're actually giving them an answer back that other people can read and learn from too. So we can definitely share those because I think that list has a ton of amazing reasons to support, you know, why shopping at your local farmer's market is going to be more expensive than a Walmart. And here's 11 like really, really great reasons why. So we'll go ahead and share that too with you. And then like just kind of touching on that communication in social media when people are commenting, whenever you can respond or like, or comment or engage, that's really important. And it doesn't always have to be, I think just the engagement with the community is good. So that it's really nice to hear you say, how can you respond to that, Claudia, versus just like kind of ignoring it and not giving it a response. So yeah, we'll send you some tools for that as well too. Thank you. That was a really great question.
Jenna, can we include you in when there's on social media, when there's a comment like that, will you jump in and
I mean, like I said, you're always free to message me. Like if you wanted to ask me for a response, I'd be happy to send you like a quick little type up that you can copy and paste that refers, it will probably refer right back to that because that's generally how we would respond to. Yeah. Like I said, I'm always available. I wish people would DM me more. I get bored sometimes. I'm like, can somebody message me on here about anything? No.
Can I ask one more question?
Yes.
So I had another, there's this truck that's going to show up in TRC at the parking lot at the Tractor Supply that's going to be selling meat cheap, and it says that they can take SNAP money. And so of course everybody is a professional, they know everything, right? And the first comment there was, well, you can buy meat at the farmer's market. And I'm going, you get your double up bucks that you can spend with meat at the farmer's market. And I'm going, no guys, you can't do that at the farmer's market. You're not going to get double up bucks to spend at the farmer's market for meat, but you can take that money and use it for fresh fruits and vegetables. And then somebody else gets on there and says, well, you know, the farmers get a stipend from SNAP for taking their money. And I'm going, nope, that's also not true. They become SNAP. You have to go to the farmer's market manager. You have to get the SNAP coins, the coins from the manager, and they take the coins are then given to the customer, and the customer is then spending them, and then the farmer brings the money back, but there is no stipend. So a really short version of what SNAP does might be nice too.
I'm sorry, I missed who does? I missed that. A short version of what I missed the.
Well, just you know, I sat there and responded, and it you know, it took me 10 or 15 minutes to finish this guy who knew everything about everything, correcting him. No, is there something in writing that talks about that short and sweet and to the point, or should I just continue to, no, dude, you really don't know what you're talking about, but let me help you. This is exactly what we're doing. And I was kind and polite and professional, et cetera, et cetera. But this guy just was totally convinced that I didn't know what I was talking about. And I'm going, but I'm the manager of the market and I do know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, correcting people who are wrong on the internet is one of my favorite hobbies. So I understand. What comes to mind, Kirsten, is the comic strip that we have that we'll be sharing here shortly as well with our Double Up Food Bucks materials this year. And that's a really nice way. I'll send you one of those, Claudia. That's a really nice way to show how the program works really quickly. And sadly, though, sometimes just correcting people who are giving misinformation is the way to handle it. And
But Claudia, in your free time, because we all have so much of it, you might want to go to a USDA website or a specific SNAP website and steal some wording right from there, copy and paste it, keep it on hand for some of your biggest SNAP or USDA type, because SNAP is run by USDA, right? So there's information about SNAP at the USDA websites, and I know there's some SNAP Ed websites, and spend 10 to 20 minutes on those and just steal their wording. And that way we're not getting anything wrong, right? We're getting it 100% right. Keep it somewhere, write it down, zap it back to folks, or send them a link to the website and say, check it out for yourself,
That's a great point. Our website also has and then we have our new Double Up Food Bucks New Mexico, Double Up New Mexico website, and the Farmers Market Coalition, who has created this campaign for the National Farmers Market Week. I've been spending a lot of time on their website recently. They have amazing, amazing resources for farmers markets on there. I recommend all of these managers here, when you go look at your the National Farmers Market Week information that they've put out, just go look at their website. Today I was listening to farmers market blogs. I'll share all of that with you, where market managers were having very similar to what we're doing here. It was quite interesting. George, you had your hand up, and Mark, you also, I think Mark, you had your hand up, and then I saw George with his hand up. Did you have? I don't know.
I had a small question or comment rather than a question. During the little trainings that we have, and also the little booklets that we hand out, there's a little blurb, what you can do and what you can't take, or what produce, market, meats, whatever is listed on there as per which coins can be used. There is never any mention of any stipend going to anybody else other than the stipend of double up your food bucks if you're a Double Up program units. It's really simple. There should not be any kind of confusion on that.
That's a great point. That is a great point. It also always pointing people back to how it supports community and how we support farmers. Something I like to remind folks about as well is that our big ag folks, they get subsidies from the government, corn and wheat. A lot of that food is subsidized. I see Double Up Food Bucks as how we subsidize our local growers. We can make the food more accessible to people, and make sure that they get their price. Thanks, George. That's a great point. Mark, did you had your hand up earlier, and I see it's down now, but I wanted to give you an opportunity to.
I just wanted to add that we have recently released this local food guide, and it essentially is one big, as Jenna mentioned, reason to believe, like why supporting local food, your local farmers, spending your money in state, and not just from a purely utilitarian standpoint. It's like the experiences that you can get in the markets, the people that you meet in the markets. And yes, it's reduces your carbon footprint, and yes, it's good for the economy. But if you guys would be interested in having these on hand in your market, we can send some of those out to you.
All markets should have received it. Is there anybody here who hasn't received a box of 300 local food guides yet? Yep, I think everybody here has received those, and more kudos to the marketing team for creating a local food guide for us this year. Yeah, that was a big venture, and these are the folks who put it together for us.
Oh, and great, Scott just actually posted a link to it online, which we just got as well. So you could actually even forward that link on to somebody if they're asking why buy local. So that's all. Thank you.
Thanks. Are there any other questions? We have about 10 more minutes in our monthly forum, and I'd love it if you bring your burning market questions here so we can help answer them.
There was a question in the registration submissions. I believe it was from Courtney, was asking for some more information and educational materials on NM Grown, if somebody wanted to speak to that.
That's right. It was the approved supplier program. Courtney, did you want to elaborate on that question for us? Or we can.
Sure. I'm actually a part of the New Mexico Grown program, but one thing that I have noticed since we've started our farming / market gardening journey is that in the area that we're located, there's just not that much knowledge about the New Mexico Grown program, and there's only our farm and one other farm here that are part of that program. And in general, there's not that many growers here at all. And I wanted to figure out ways to help kind of like spread the word or let consumers know about the New Mexico Grown program, but also connect with like our local school district and the preschools and the senior center, because I've tried calling the school district to talk to them about it, but it's like, who is she, you know? And so I was wondering like how to be able to get our school district to connect with people from the New Mexico Farmers Marketing Association so that they can learn more about the New Mexico Grown program as well.
That's a great question, Courtney. We have a whole other team, and they're not, right now we're market side. So we're in our farmers market with our managers here, and the New Mexico Grown is more on our grower side. And so that team is the New Mexico Grown approved supplier team. Will send you their email. Alyssa Paisano is the, Elena Paisano is the director of that program. And I know that she's been going around the state. Actually, did you say you're in Otero? So we're going to be having, I guess you're kind of far from Grant County, I know. And I think Jenna posted the list of places where they're going to be doing some outreach meetings across the state. I know in August, we're going to have one here in Grant County. And so we'll put you in contact with the New Mexico Grown team, because I know they would love to hear exactly what you just shared and help you brainstorm ways to get involved. Jenna, you have your hand up.
Yeah, I'm looking for the flyer right now. I'm actually on the New Mexico Grown Coalition as well. So I'm more than happy to share with you. We are having a couple of regional networking events. I don't know off the top of my head what's going to be closest to Alamogordo. As Andrea just said, we do have one coming up on August 22nd, but it is in Silver City. And I know that's like about 2 hours away from you. We were literally having this discussion as we were planning this meeting this week about regionally what makes sense for everybody. But we do have one planned for that area, I believe. I'll post what we have so far. We also have, we have those events coming up. So I'll post the flyer, and I'm happy to connect you afterwards, or if you have questions as well, to talk with you. So thank you.
Thank you.
I thought George was sharing his New Mexico Grown with Tradition. You want to share that with us again, George? Put that up for us. Now, this is different than the New Mexico Grown, but this is a campaign that has been launched through the NMDA. Again, it's a logo program. And this is something that you can through NMDA. And I think that Allison, you linked to it in this month's newsletters, didn't you? Your
Yes.
vendors can sign up and receive logo. This looks like a sticker George has. I know they have bags and other nice swag for free for vendors who are a part of the Taste the Tradition program.
And what the program is, I don't know whether you can get into this and zoom on that little thing to scan this, but it's an invitation for a relaunch of this new program relaunch section. It's a relaunch for their new logo and the entire program actually. So if you can enlarge that, and that way anybody that wants to scan it, they can.
I don't know if we can see that, George, but we can definitely get a link to the.
Yeah, too granulated for my computer to do it. No, it's the
Yeah.
Zoom, it's not George.
Well, in any case, it's with the New Mexico Department of Agriculture. And you can apply at Elevate, and mmag.com. It's really a simple process to get into. And you're right, they have all sorts of little things. If you're proud of what you grow and you want to put some of these stickers on your area of the table, or stack them on a paper bag that you give out with your groceries, you could do that. They have all sorts of little things that you can use. They have produce bags that you can buy by the rolls. It's really an inexpensive process.
It's a great program, George. We put a link. We have a link to it here for folks to check out.
Fabulous.
We have about 5 minutes left. Yeah, thanks for sharing that. And I just wanted to say, see if there's anyone else who, I see we've lost some of our folks here. If there's anyone else who is interested or has a question that we can answer at this time, or you can drop it into the chat and we can get back to you via email. Well, thank you everyone for attending. Any of our NMFMA folks have anything they want to close us off with here about New Mexico Grown Month? Or
I just want to echo thanks for being here, and we look forward to celebrating this with you all in whichever way you choose to do. Feel free to reach out to us at any time. Thanks.
Thanks for all the links in the chat. And if you'd like to save all of that information from the chat, something I always forget to do, I'm going to do it right now. Who can help us how do we save the chat? I've forgotten.
There are 3 dots down along the little toolbar in the chat window. You should be able to click that and say save chat, which I'm going to do right now. I'm also the person posting this to YouTube, where you can circulate it to your colleagues and peers that weren't here today. I'm trying to get a little more savvy with saving the transcripts and the chats and all the resources and bundling them up into one place where you guys can get at that conveniently. So a continued work in progress, and try to make that easy for everyone. But thank you all for the great conversation. Personally speaking, I want to say I can't wait to see these flags hanging at your vendor booths. So please take some snapshots for us.
Thank you all again for joining. We'll see you next month. Keep an eye out. We'll be sending the dates and the times and the topic out here shortly. Get us on the calendar.